Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. In this DC Dark Legion video, I want to discuss the proposed changes that they have outlined here for the bleed. The bannering system where we can get the Mythic Plus heroes. They are proposing some rule changes, and they, at least at the time of the recording here, they've only released this on Discord, and I'm assuming that it's going to be coming into the game as well. So let me pull that announcement up here so you can see here the date. So essentially what it is they are planning on adjusting the rules, and they're targeting this to be on June 4th. So here's essentially the TLDR about this whole thing and how they're proposing and changing it. So as you know, right now, every time that we hit the hero that the banner is specifically for. So you saw there I had Sinestro up. So let's all use Sinestro as the example here. So every time we would hit Sinestro, we would get 40 shards, right? And then we would then use those 40 shards to not only unlock the hero, but then to upgrade him. All right. And as they're phrasing it here, it does seem like an all or none proposition, at least at the beginning, right? To get them leveled up. But I don't know if they're doing this to help the free-to-play player or the low spender upgrade the hero quicker, or if there is a reason to do this in terms of a financial gain from it, because they are kind of changing this in a way so you are more depending on pity than not. Let me explain that as we go through the rules here. So essentially what they're proposing here is, number one, is that at the beginning it all seemed good because they're saying every time that you summon a mythic hero, the 10 shards you get for a mythic hero or a legacy piece, you're going to get 5 mythic plus shards of the hero that is in the banner. So essentially, if your RNG hit a legacy piece, then you'll see 5 shards for, in the example here, Sinestro, right? But then as we continue reading on there, and as you can see here behind me, is that now what they're doing is that they are going to reduce the requirement to unlock the hero to 25. All right. And not only that, but they are reducing the amount of shards you get for hitting the hero, for hitting the Mythic Plus hero in the banner, from 40 to 25. Okay. So essentially, what they're doing, let's just say, if you were lucky enough to hit the RNG to get the hero, right? 25, or you would hit the hero, you get 40. If you didn't go to pity and you hit the hero again, you got 40 right up ahead, right? And it goes on and on and on. Now, if you were a player that's just persistently going to pity, you need the full 200 ambles to get, or you needed every 4th hit to get the 40 shards, then this actually might come into play for you a little bit more, but it seems like a loss in the scheme of things. Let me explain. So essentially what it is that now every time you hit a legacy piece and every hero or every mythic, you're going to get 5 with it. But if you do hit that hero, you get 25. Not only that, according to this, they're increasing the odds of you getting a mythic or a legacy piece. Now they're saying that the rate's going to be slightly decreased, but essentially what is happening with all of this and an appearance of it is that they are kind of making you dependent on you hitting pity to get the 40 shards now. It's not about you just being unlucky to get the 40. Now it seems like they are tuning things. So you do have to hit the pity to get the complete 40. Because if, for example, if you did consecutive pulls, let's say, or you were one of the luckies that got 2 Sinestros in one hit, in one 10 pull, you got 80, but now you're only getting 50. And now you're depending on you getting the 5 extra ones or trying to hit that hero again, right? Overall, in this whole scheme here, this seems like a little bit of a loss when it comes to investing your ambles, but it does open up the upgrade system for the beginning. So the early the free to play players, the non-spenders, right? So essentially what it is you only need now 25 to unlock, and now they're making you a little bit easier for you to possibly get that 1, 2, 3 white star, maybe 4, right? But it's not forcing you to have to get 4 of them if you need to do 4 to get to pity. And by pity I mean the 4 that you need, right, to get the banner hero, in terms of you hitting a mythic or a legacy piece or the mythic plus hero. That's the pity that I'm talking about. Yes, I do know that there is a limit of 50 anvils that you invest to try to get something, right, in that range of the mythic plus or the legacy piece. But now when you do make that 50 investment, the most you are guaranteed now is 25. So at the higher levels, I think you come out a little bit behind on this, because your hope is going to be essentially is to hit those 5, 5, 5 and then 25 and get the 40. I don't know. The way that I'm seeing this right now, it does seem a little bit perplexing as to why they're changing it now and to do it this way. Because yet you are losing overall in the whole scheme of things. You may be losing if you are a lucky player, if you're consistently hitting the RNG. And so to kind of alleviate that a little bit, they went ahead and they said, we're going to increase the out of the mythic and the legacy pieces, because they want to kind of make you depending on the pity for you to get the 40. This is a little bit sketchy, folks. This is already on top of, especially for the United States players, this is already on top of them increasing prices of the bundles. Now, they're saying that that was due to currency exchange rates between Switzerland and the United States. I don't buy that, because they could have easily kept the prices the same in their app. They're the ones that changed it. Don't tell me that this Google Play is changing. No, Google Play just wants to take their cut. They would just want to get their 30% cut. The whole thing about the currency exchange rate, that was somebody looking at the numbers in Switzerland. But that's another story. Let's stick to this. All right. So that's already, this is compounding that issue now as well. Okay. That was just the point of me bringing that up. So, all right. So then they're talking about player compensation. And I was like, what player compensation? What is happening is that because we unlocked the hero at 40 shards and now the requirement is going to be 25, they're saying, well, now you had this 15 extra shards, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn those shards into hero line particles. And for every shard, we're going to give you 75 of this. So I went and quickly did the math. It's 1,125 world particles, if that's indeed what they mean, which the conversion is about 22 magic eyes at the store. All right. So essentially what we're doing is we're training 15 shards that we could have used for the next rotation. And instead, now they're going to give us 22 magic eyes. So if you have unlocked most of the heroes, that is not even enough to get you one of the mythic plus legacy pieces that is in the store. So that is the exchange rate that they're proposing here. This conversion here, this is a non-starter. They should completely scrap this, because I don't see the 15 shard exchange or the world line product to be a fair one. It's not. I'd rather have the 15 shards for the next rotation. Let me keep them, because I can give you the example for the Joker. I have 20 extra shards, right? I wasn't lucky enough to pull an extra copy for me to be able to upgrade him one more star. So I'd rather have those 15, save them for the next one, and at least I know I can upgrade him when I only need 5 more to pull, right? So no, this here thing, this is a no. And overall, what we're saying here, the expected result. At the initial starter levels, you will be able to start up your champion often in the current system. You go from 0 to 5, which is an all or nothing proposition. I agree with that part in a sense, But the way that you're changing things now, you are now forcing people to go to pity to get the 40. That's essentially what you're doing. And if you're lucky enough to consistently be hitting that hero, now you're being punished because now you're only getting 25 of the shards instead of the full 40 that you would have gotten if you were fortunate enough. This here is more of a gift to those that are consistently going the full 4, right? You need to go full 4 every time to hit the hero. So essentially what they did is they said, we're going to try to decrease the reward for you being lucky. We're going to change the odds. They're saying it's a fraction. I don't believe it. Fraction is still a fraction. You're tilting the scales. And now if you want the full 40, you got to hope you have to go to pity, essentially is what is coming here. Not only that, so think about that, is if you were then lucky enough to do 2 consecutive pulls, you got 80, but now you're only getting 50. So your luck now, because if you're lucky, now they're reducing the amount of rewards that you're getting out of it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but as I read this here, it's a bad system. It's I don't know why they're deciding to do this. If this does actually go live, this is a loss. And you should tell them not to reconsider this. Go to their Discord, do the customer service in game, and say, I saw about this. This doesn't look fair, especially the exchange rate for the shards to Whirlwind particles. And moreover, the complete change here on the skim of trying to, you're saying, okay, it only takes you 25 to unlock it. But now it's just, you're going to be persistently wanting to build as, it's not as rewarding if you are lucky enough to summon the hero on the banner. That's essentially what's coming down to. So, no, this is a bad decision. I don't like it. But then again, I'm just a player that is looking from the outside in. I don't know what brought this on, but this here, definitely players should be speaking about it and saying, no, this is not a good exchange. This is not a good exchange. It's not a good change. You need to rethink this. There has to be another solution to upgrade the hero at the early stages a little bit quicker, but this is not it. This seems more a loss on the surface of things, especially for players that are lucky to consistently be able to summon the hero or not having to go the full-on 4 pities to get the 40 shards. That's essentially what's coming down to. So, no. So in a way, I hope that I explained this well enough for you, and I laid down my argument as to why this is not a good system to apply to the game, especially when it comes to the exchange rate. It's just a non-starter. It's bad. It's horrible. Again, compounding this with the exchange rate thing that they did, where they increased the prices of the bundles in the game. They're fumbling around too much right now. This is just complete garbage. So change this. If somebody is the DCDL offices is watching this, change this. Don't even think about it. You know what? Just delete the post. Never happened. That's the way I would go about this. Thank you all very much for tuning and watching. We'll see you all in the next one.